Hi everyone, I'm Sagar. So today we are going to start our RHCSA journey of 60 power pack questions. So these are practical questions similar to the questions which you usually see in your RHCSA exam. These questions will help you to achieve your RHCSA certification. And all these tasks and questions we are going to perform in the RHEL version 10. And why I have chose RHEL 10, because to show you the difference and the addition in the feature done by Red Hat in this version if we compare it the RHEL 10 with the older RHEL versions. So let's not waste our time and quickly jump into the very first task which we are going to perform today. So the task which we are going to perform today is reset root password. This task you will always see as the first task in your RHCSA exam, and today we are going to see how it is different in RHEL 10 while resetting your root password. So just an overview. Now in RHEL 10 there is no need to do rd.break to go into your minimal user space or emergency mode, and also there is no need to do chrooting to switch as root. All these things I will show you in the practical which we are going to start now. So this is the PPT I have prepared to show you and make you understand better that what is the difference and how we can achieve root password reset in RHEL 10. So the very first task is to reboot your system and enter your grub menu. So let's just go to our RHEL 10 machine. So this is my RHEL 10 machine and the RHEL 10 logos look amazing. Okay, let's just restart it first. I'm restarting my machine, and once it is getting restarted, I'm pressing enter, escape, sorry, to enter the grub menu. Now I'm finally in the grub menu. In the grub menu, you can see I have two kernel images. Maybe in your machine you will be able to only see one, but I already have two kernel images. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press E to edit the boot settings. Okay, so you can see this line Linux, right? So we have to basically edit this line to interrupt our normal boot process. So before doing that, let me just take you to the PPT and make you understand the difference now and what we are doing in RHEL 10. So the second step states that in the line starting with Linux, add init equals to bin bash and press Ctrl plus X to boot with the modified file. Okay, so earlier if you have performed this task in older RHEL versions, you have done rd.break, you have added rd.break at the end of this Linux line, because in earlier versions we were using rd.break, it was like that and we were doing rd.break to stop or interrupt the normal booting process, the normal system boot. And when the normal system boot stops, it will take you to the minimal user space instead of taking you to your system. But now they have, what they have done, they have removed rd.break and they have given you the option init equals to bin bash. This we will see when we perform this task, why this init equals to bin bash added instead of rd.break. Okay, so if you will go here, I'm going to add a line here, init equals to bin bash, and now you simply have to press Ctrl X to boot it with the modified file. So we have modified the file and we are booting it. Now you will see we will land into the emergency mode, the minimal user space. And why init equals to bin bash is added, because now you are directly going to the root file system. What I mean is that earlier when we are in older versions, it was mounted at sysroot. Now it is directly mounted at your root file system. That's why we are using init equals to bin bash. We will see it in a while and you will understand it. Okay, so the third step which we have to do now, we are finally into, if I will show you, sorry, we are finally into our emergency mode and in the bash shell. You can see it is the bash is prompting. Okay, let's just go to the PPT again, and if you see that the third step is to remount the root file system and as read write. Okay, so why we are doing it? Because when you enter your emergency mode over here in the minimal user space, your root file system is mounted as a read only. But if you have to edit your root password, if you have to make changes, you need to mount your file system in read write mode. So that's why we are doing that, and to achieve that I'm going to use a command mount -o remount read write rw I'm giving, and giving my root file system. So in earlier RHEL versions, we were doing the same thing. We were remounting the file system, but we were remounting the sys root. And why we were remounting the sys root? Because when we entered the emergency mode, the minimal user space, it is mounted on the sys root only. But now it is directly mounted in your root file system. So there is no need to remount your sys root now. Okay, so now it is mounted as mounted in read write. So now I have to directly reset my password. There is no need to do chrooting. So let me just show you to make you understand the difference in earlier RHEL versions and in RHEL 10, that earlier we used to do chroot and sysroot. What this command do was, this command will your user to root so that you can achieve the task to reset your password or switch as a root, and you can perform task as root. But now it is not required because you are directly into the root file system. So directly go ahead and reset the password for root. So now I am resetting the password for root. I have chosen my password. It is showing bad password because I have given lesser characters, like less shorter characters than 8, and now you can see the password updated successfully. Okay, so till this point we have achieved our goal. Now we have covered this step 4, resetting the root password. Now the step 5 states that relabel the SELinux. So why this relabeling is important? So this relabeling is important to so that to give the correct SELinux context to your files and directories present in your system, to avoid the permission issues and system and keep your system secure, modifying critical components like root password, which we are performing in this task. Okay, so that's why SELinux relabeling is important. It will make sure that SELinux context is correct. Okay, so let's just go to our machine, and with the command touch dot auto relabel, we can relabel our SELinux context. I'm hitting enter. It is done. Now I'm simply rebooting my machine, usr bin sbin reboot, and forcefully I'm doing it. So once it is done, I will enter to my boot menu again, to my grub menu again, to select the kernel image. I've selected the kernel image, and successfully my image, my system is started getting booting. And now you will see a line over here, relabeling SELinux context. You have to pause the video to see it because it will appear in a second. In the last you can see relabeling boot dev, right? Okay, so the relabeling is done. This can take 1 to 2 minutes. So we have successfully achieved our task. We have resetted our root password. So to just conclude this video, let's just take a quick recap and understand the difference we have seen today. So in our older RHEL versions, the minimal user space or emergency mode with rootfs mounted at sysroot. But now in RHEL 10, it is directly mounted at the root. In older versions and in the newer version, both were mounted as read only. As we have seen, we have to remount the file system at in the read write, right, that we have seen. So in both the cases they were mounted in read only mode only. And in RHEL older versions, we have to perform the ch routing, because you need to switch to the root user to perform your or achieve your task. But now as it is already operating in root file system, ch routing is not required. Enabling SELinux is still required, because SELinux context should be correct in your files and directories in your system. And that's it for today's video, and hope you got the exact difference I want to make you understand in RHEL 10 while resetting your root password. If you have any queries, you can directly ping me on LinkedIn or anywhere. I will mention my email. So thank you for today. Have a good day.